Best wishes to all. So in this video we are going to see about Excel macro. So basically automation on top of Excel. So for many of us Excel will be a daily day-to-day usage application, and which is enhancing our performance to finish our tasks on time. So already Excel would have been saving so much of your time, but further to fine tune how to improve the performance on top of Excel is we can also implement some smart solutions around the Excel. So kind of like daily repeated task what you are doing in Excel, so we can make it in an automated way. So that is one. So starting from simple to very complex solution we can implement in this automation. So basically behind the scene Excel is running with VBA, so basically Visual Basic Programming. So using that we can implement the automation. So here I just put it simple use cases or common use cases around it. Maybe daily before finishing up your day-to-day business, you might be reporting some data to your counterparts. So daily you may be doing the same activity, but you are doing in a manual way. So that is one. Or another way is use case is kind of like you are receiving so much of data on Excel. Out of the data you have to take a decisions on how to strategize your business. So that is option or use case 2. Use case 3 is kind of data analytics. So if you are having a data for multiple departments, and if you want to do how you are optimistically using your resources, so that kind of data analytics we can do it in Excel. So that is one use case. And another use case from the complexity, it's kind of use case wise I'm increasing the complexity. Kind of from Excel you are further extracting more files out of needs. So based on your needs, if you are creating a multiple files to produce data counts for some other purpose or some other calculations, so that is also one of the use case. So likewise on top of Excel or with dependency of Excel, there could be so much of situations we might be doing it and maybe we might be doing it in manual. But let's get into how to make smart solutions on top of it. So now I'm getting into Excel application. So here I just put a simple use case, kind of how to reduce your repeated tasks. Okay, so before that, to introduce into the macros, when you get into the Excel, so just get into the view tab and you will find the tab or button called macros. So if you click, so you'll get options like view macros. If you are already having a macro, you can see it. If you want to record a new macro, kind of if you want to create a new one, then you can record it. So here the smart solution you can implement in two ways. One is you can record your activity and just mimic that activity always. So this one will not have any intelligence on do this activity based on such a decision. So that kind of intelligence will not be there. It will simply mimic your activity. If you want to also introduce the intelligence on top of it, then we have to slightly get into the VBA programming, so that one we can see it later. Okay. So now, so in this use case, daily before closing the business, we will filter this data for today's business and we will get what is the amount which is kind of accountable for today. Okay, so to do that, now let me record the macro so that we'll get to know how it is helping us. So simply click record macro. It'll ask you for macro name, so you can give any name, and this is a shortcut key just to invoke this automation. Probably for now I'm giving it as a R. Okay, control plus R. So click OK. So now it is now Excel is listening to your activity. So how you can say is in bottom you can see there is a macro. It is saying that macro is currently recording. So that means it is listening to all the activity what you're currently doing. Okay. So let's say, so now I'm going to apply the filter on this particular table. Filter, and I am sorting with today's date, and it is sorted with today's date. I'm simply copying this table into the next sheet, and in this sheet I want to calculate the total amount. So let's say total equal to sum of this one. So these are the two things, right? So now it is saying, so now for today's total is 4520. So this is a daily activity for me. Filter out the data only responsive for today and do some accounting on it. Okay, so now let me stop my recording. Okay, so let's assume, so this task is going to be repeated task. Okay, so now again I am getting to this sheet 1. So this is assume that here on I am here. Okay, so let me remove this one. So now if I want to run this macro, again go to this macro, view macro, select your automation and simply run it. So what it did is, it is automatically applied the filter and copied your data into here. So that means going forward you no need to manually add your filter and do this calculation. Automatically it will do your calculation. Okay, so this is, now we seen how to run it by going to this tab, right? So if you remember, we also given a shortcut to run this macro as well, right? So let's see, so we given a shortcut as Control R. I am pressing Control R now. So now automatically a macro picked up and it finished up. So this is one of the simplest way of reducing your daily day-to-day activity. So likewise you can think of your day-to-day activity and you can sort to reduce it. So this is one of the simplest one. Probably in next videos we can further increase our complexity and let's see how we can make a decision out of your table, or how we can do a decision based formatting on your data. Okay, thanks for joining.